In this video, I would like to discuss e-commerce shipping dashboards, get into why it's vital to maintain one, how to go about doing it, and then how to sort of use it as a tool in your e-commerce business to aim toward higher profitability and efficiency. So first of all, what is it? What is a shipping dashboard? It's just a way of monitoring your profit and loss in the shipping part of your business. So really there's just two sides to it. There's shipping revenue and shipping cost. By shipping revenue, I mean how much are you charging your customers for shipping on average? And then as far as shipping costs, it's either the rate that you're paying for a package, say UPS ground, what that charge is, but it also could include other fees, maybe especially if you're using a third-party logistics company. It may also include things like pick fees, box charges, and stuff like that. So you may end up looking at this from the shipping cost side of it. You may decide to look at it from a few different dimensions. But essentially, it's looking at your shipping revenue and your shipping costs at both the order level and just overall by any time range, and having a good understanding of how much profit or loss is occurring in your business from shipping. Okay, so why is this important? Well, it's profit and loss. It's revenue and associated costs that go against that revenue. And the portion of shipping can be fairly significant in the grand scheme of your products. If you offer free shipping, it's even more vital to have a really solid understanding of how much you are profiting or losing in the shipping area. Because if it's free shipping, of course, you're not collecting revenue from your customers for shipping, but you still have to pay to ship the order out. So you need to really understand exactly what that looks like and make sure that you're overall covering your overall cost structure with your cost of goods sold on the product, and you're happy with the overall profitability of the average order. Having a tool like this also helps you optimize your profit. So step one is to know what's going on. You need to track it and understand where do you stand currently with your shipping profitability. And once you have that in place and you have some historical data to sort of review, you can then make decisions surrounding what shipping methods, what shipping carriers are most ideal for your type of products and your product mix, and you could start to make corrections and modifications. The other factor here is it really surrounds just overall growth of your business, not only just the profitability piece, but when you think about it, there's really just two things that you're doing as an e-commerce business. You're trying to get clicks to your website or your product pages in a marketplace, and then you're trying to optimize conversion rate, meaning getting somebody to buy, hoping that they buy once they see your website or your products. So shipping rates have a lot to do with both of those things. From the click standpoint, these platforms, whether it's Google or marketplaces like Amazon, they look at the cumulative retail price of your products, which is the product plus shipping, in their algorithms to decide how to rank your product and or website. They use that metric very heavily, primarily probably in their algorithms. So your shipping rate has a lot to do with where you show up in their search results as compared to your competition or for whatever keyword is in play. So it may have a lot to do with driving traffic to your website or your click. Again, how much you're charging for shipping. Also, on a conversion rate note, it has a lot to do with whether or not that prospect will pull the trigger and add to cart, because people obviously will not only look at the product price, they'll look at the shipping and or free shipping and use all of those elements to decide, is this price the right amount for me on this product at this moment in time? So there's a lot to do with conversion rate going on here, relating to how much you're charging or not charging for shipping. Both of those, clicks and conversion rate, all lead to order volume, and of course the accompanying profitability of those orders. But it all comes into play, and it's shipping is in the mix for all of these very vital areas of your e-commerce business. So let's discuss it. What you're looking at here is just some sample data, but this is just I call it monthly. So it's just a way for a business to stand back and on a monthly level look at order volume, how many orders occurred, how much shipping revenue was collected, how much shipping cost occurred. And again, that cost, depending on how you model it, could be just the charge for the shipping label, or it could be the shipping label plus any other accompanying fulfillment expenses. And then the difference, which is profit or loss. And then I expressed it here also as a percentage. So this is great because you could just watch the business and from a sort of a trend recognition standpoint, see if things are consistent or if things are changing. You need to take action, obviously. Like you'll see in this example, there's a big difference between July and August. The profitability went down quite a bit. So of course you'd want to dig deeper into that. Like what was the reason? What was the the core elements behind that big change in overall profitability in that particular month? So this is one way to model it by a month, like kind of the highest level. I like to do it by week as well, because that way, if something changes, like for an example, maybe one of your carriers changes their rates, they increase the amount that they're charging for a particular shipping method, it's better to catch it sooner than later. And if you're tracking this on a weekly basis, you'll pick up on those things sooner and you can make some kind of adjustment, maybe move to a different carrier and or method. The other thing that you can get out of this type of modeling is an analysis based on the actual shipping methods, which I've done here. So it's another kind of, and we'll get into the inputs here, but you'll need to also have a way of knowing at the order level what shipping method was used. But what we're seeing here is a way of modeling that. So we have all these different shipping methods. These are all the different types of methods that you may be using. And this is also by month. But this is a way to kind of go a level deeper as compared to just the overarching monthly. You can say, okay, by each method, how many orders occurred. That's this first block. Here's how much shipping revenue was collected by method. These are the methods that the customer selected. Finally, shipping cost. How much did those all cost us to ship out the door? And then these are just the difference. So shipping profit and loss. And you can see this by carrier. So if you're isolating, in this example, in the month of October, cumulatively, you walked away with about $109 of profit. You can see where that came from, which methods led to it. Maybe there were some that were a bit of a drag on that profitability, like this one. Here is profitability expressed as a percentage. So this, again, is where you can kind of stand back and see directionally what's happening with all these. And then it's nice to run averages here. This is like just on an average order level. Here's how much you're collecting in revenue by method. Here's how much those are costing you on average. And then finally, this is a view of the average profitability by order by shipping method for your business. So when you're sort of analyzing all of this, you could zero in and see certain methods in certain periods of time that stand out as big winners or big losers, like this. So that's the kind of the final outcome, is to have a dashboard where you're able to see all this stuff, notice changes, and capitalize on opportunities or correct things that are not going the way that you'd like for them to be going. Now, as far as how do you do this? Well, there's just basically two sides to it. So there's the revenue and the cost side of it. So these are Shopify examples. So you can export reports out of Shopify that are just giving you the details of the entire order. You can also do detailed reports that show you what products were within every order and do a bunch of analysis on that as well, for sure. But for this purpose, it's best to do just a full order level report. You can find that in the analytics and then reports section of your Shopify store. So the data might look something like this. A key field is the order number. They call it order name. And so that's just kind of the basics of all these orders. So you have an order number, the cumulative dollar amount of sales, some of the stuff up here. These are all fields that just kind of show up. Shipping is one of them. So these examples show how much these customers paid for shipping. And of course, if it was free shipping, it would be a 0. Another report is the other side of it is the costs. In Shopify, you can find this in settings and then billing. It's a CSV report, and you need to take all that, kind of crank it into a spreadsheet, and ultimately come up with something that looks similar to this. We also need to have the order number because that's the primary key that we're going to use to connect the shipping costs back to the shipping order data where the revenue is contained. But it also has how much we paid for shipping and what method was used for shipping. So now that we have both sides of it, it's a simple couple of formulas way over here. So back to the Shopify order raw data. This formula is looking back over to the shipping cost data and basically saying it's a VLOOKUP. So it says, go look for that order number. If you find it, report here what the shipping method was. And then same idea over here for the shipping cost, same idea. Go find that order number in this set of raw data and then put back here what that shipping cost was. So you can imagine, in a high volume store, you'll have a lot of data going on here, but that's the general idea, is to be able to kind of tack on your shipping cost and method to each one of these orders that are coming out of your Shopify raw order data. Once you have that in place, it would be simply a matter of periodically updating the raw data, shipping order data, and then your shipping costs, and then just basically dragging down these fields, and everything else will just self-populate, both on the monthly ship method and this overall monthly view. So that's the idea. Again, super, super important to do it. It reveals really important stuff like your company's profitability. It reveals things like whether or not you're using the most optimal shipping methods and carriers. And we'll just help you really get a better handle on your business and help you sort of stay healthy. As far as maintaining it, it's just a matter of committing to it. I think that if you commit to it and get this built, you'll immediately find some opportunities and some things that you maybe weren't aware of that will help you squeeze more profit out of your business. But the key is to start and to monitor it and to keep it maintained. So I hope that helped. Please let me know if you have any specific questions or things that relate to this in the comments section. And I hope you the best of success with your company. Thank you.